pitch. This is Kale's not here, obviously, but me, Ty, Tierney are here, and Tyler Hudson is here with us, pitcher for the Anaheim Storm. Tyler, how you doing?
Doing good.
All right, so we're going to ask him a couple questions, and then we'll get to the rest of the show after. So I will start. Tyler, I want to know how you feel about your schedule because it came out a little bit ago, and everyone should have seen their schedule. Now, how are you feeling about yours?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with our schedule, actually. I think everybody we play is in the bottom half of the power rankings right now, and so It's looking pretty good. It worked out pretty favorably last tournament for us when we had a similar kind of draw, so I'm not upset about it.
Rightfully so. So if anyone who doesn't know, their schedule is the Bison game 1, the Waves game 2, and then for their final game they play the Fog. So that is a pretty favorable schedule.
What do you think your record will be, Tyler?
Man, I don't see us doing any worse than 2-1, but I personally think there's a really good chance that we go through the whole thing and sweep it.
If you had to choose one team that you might lose, like your hardest game, what would that be?
Probably the Fog. If Lucas is pitching for them, he's got decent stuff, and so he's got a little better than decent stuff. So that probably is it. The Bison are kind of, who knows? At the moment. And as for the Waves, I don't think anybody really knows exactly what to expect. It's their first tournament, so I'd probably the Fog, but honestly, none of them really. No offense to any of them, but none of them really are too worrisome.
Right. So Tierney and Kale in the last episode talked about the bats and the change in what bats we're going to use. Does that scare you at all? Because they seem to think that would affect you as a pitcher. Do you think it'll affect your pitching, and why?
No, I think if I pitched like I did in the last tournament, it might scare me a little bit, but I only pitched like that because conditions called for it. It was really, really tough to get the ball in play, let alone put it in a scoring zone. So, I won't be pitching like that. Let's just say that. I practiced pitch throwing a lot harder, but even with all the practice, I only knew that I was on the team for about a month. So, I wasn't 100% confident pitching real hard that way. And so after we started, I kind of realized that nobody was really doing much hitting wise. And so I put it in the hitter's hands last tournament, but I'll definitely take it into my own hands a little more this tournament. Probably throw a little harder and see what I can do, because the bats, they're not going to allow for a lob ball.
So what you're saying is we'll see some improvement.
Yes. Well, you'll see improvement pitching and hitting. So yeah, I guess they're kind of you're kind of forcing my hand by putting a bigger bat in there. So yeah.
That's the goal.
No. As a hitter, I hit in the league too. So as a hitter, I'm excited about it too. The little tiny toothpick bat. It's even for a good hitter, that's pretty tough.
Okay, so Kyle Koopman is obviously the owner, and as of right now, you lost Colby. He was obviously your best batter. Do you think you'll pick up anyone else before the tournament that could, help you guys on the bats a little bit?
It wouldn't surprise me. I was kind of disappointed to not have Kyle King playing with us last tournament, just because it was really last minute on him not deciding, but finding out that he couldn't play. And me and him, I had pitched a lot to him, and he had hit a lot, and so he was actually pretty ready to play last tournament. So, I'm not too worried if we don't pick up anybody, but at the same point, I know Coop, and I know he's looking around, and he's told me to keep my eyes and ears open. So it wouldn't surprise me if we did pick up somebody. Kind of probably would be a little last minute in the last couple of weeks, but yeah, if we stay the way we are, I'm not too worried either. So.
All right, our final question here before we let you go. what is a successful season for the Storm in JL14? Is it getting back to the championship game, or is it just making the playoffs this time? What is it?
I mean, I'd love to get back to the championship game, but I mean that could be a little ambitious maybe, but definitely I think we need to make the playoffs, and I think a successful year for us or a successful tournament would be to make a run in the playoffs. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's championship or bust. That's kind of, I mean, we have two of our three guys right now didn't even play in the last tournament, and so that might be a little ambitious, like I said. So yeah, definitely though, with our schedule and the way things we need to make a playoff run for sure. So that would be what I would say would be successful.
That sounds fair.
Yeah, very official answers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what? You're probably going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
With the teams you're playing,
if you
can have
don't,
a good
it's an
shot.
off. It's an off.
And I would say I'd be disappointed if we didn't. I'd be pretty disappointed if we didn't make the playoffs. That would be very disappointing.
Yeah. All right, Tyler, thanks for being on here, and we'll see you later.
All right, see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right, so now we have our next guest. He wasn't able to be live with us, Anthony Nusbaum, but we sent him some questions to answer, and here are his responses. We'll play that for you now.
Hey guys, I appreciate the questions. Brock, you asked why I'm not going after any other players. I went hard after the top free agents, like Kyle, Sean, Nate, and all them, and they didn't really get back to me, which I kind of understood a little bit, even though I was offering some good money. I offered Jacob Braun a $10 for one tournament deal, which for someone, a player of his stature, I probably would have taken the deal, but he decided that he wanted me to go to the Bison or the Fog, so I guess he likes to lose or something. I mean, I was kind of mad about it, but it is what it is. I would say we can meet up with them in the playoffs, but the likelihood of them making the playoffs is very slim to none. It is what it is. Ty, you asked if all three players will hit. I haven't decided on Asher yet. I know that Austin will for sure, because that's what I signed him for. Still trying to work with Asher, especially with the new bat. I went up and picked one up and been working with him a little bit, so we'll see how that goes. That'll probably be a game time decision for the first game. Kill, you asked without revealing too much how my pitching was. I definitely think I've gotten a lot better since my first time throwing, because that was absolutely terrible. I learned the hard way there's a big difference between pitching in college, like baseball, and pitching in wiffle ball. I came in way too cocky, but I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and kind of working on my form. I guess I never thought I'd say I'm working on form for wiffle ball, but yeah, so I think I'm going to surprise a lot of teams. I think the Waves themselves are going to surprise a lot of teams. We literally have nothing to lose, so I'm just going in having fun and going to win some ball games and I guess put us on the map. So thanks, guys.
Okay, so that was our interview with Anthony Nusbaum, new pitcher of the West Coast Waves. And now we're going to transition into something else Anthony did. Ty, why don't you
All right,
tell us what happened?
For those of you who follow us on social media, we have, I'm just going to give you our names in case you aren't. We're JAL-Wiffleball on Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook. You can obviously just look us up JAL. On Snapchat.
Snapchat is
dash.
Okay, excuse me. Twitter and Instagram is _. Snapchat is _wiffleball.
Get it right.
Anyways, that's not important. For those of you who follow us, people will tweet at JL and all these things, World Spawn, and we put stuff out. And first of all, what was tweeted out first was the Express uniforms.
Can we talk about those for a minute?
Let's talk about those for a second. Nice job, Garrett Blaine. Heck yes.
Yes.
Best uniforms in the league,
Yes.
in my opinion.
I'm a little biased here because I love gray. It's like my favorite color, but I dig the charcoal.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Look at those. For those of you who can't see, I mean, those are just legit. Those are nice.
It is, though.
If you want to see a better picture, you can find them on our social media at _wiffleball.
Not dash. But they're good. I like the two logos. I like the front and back.
Mm-hmm.
It's different, but I think I like it.
Yes. Anyways, moving on. So that was tweeted out by us, and then Anthony Nusbaum takes a shot at Express owner Garrett Blaine.
Shots fired.
And I quote, "Wish I had mommy and daddy's money to do that too."
Out.
Crying emoji, upside down, smiley face. Anthony. Okay, and then we'll move on from that. And we tag Garrett Blaine, because we're going to mix the pot a little bit, let Garrett see. And Anthony comes back again with no response, yet he just says, and I quote, "They can look all cute not winning a title again. I'm sure they can get a high five for best dressed." Anthony, what are you doing?
So what's your...
And then, no, we're not done yet.
Oh.
And then Kale says,
Wow.
well, Kale, he tweeted back at him. As JAL. Anyways, whoa, a lot of talk about a team that's won a title. Excuse me.
From it,
A lot of talk about a team that's won a title from a team that's yet to have a single win in franchise history. That's the end. Good point brought up. You have not played a game.
Well,
You,
yeah,
The Waves.
the
The
Waves
Waves
have not played a game.
Anthony's played a game and was awful. Played against the underdogs, lost to the underdogs. The
Let's be
underdogs.
clear.
No, I'm not done.
Okay.
The underdogs are awful, and you pitched against the underdogs, did bad, and now you're giving crap to arguably the best, one of the best franchises in JHL. They have Kyle Godino, best pitcher in the league, who won them their first title, MVP, and then you just come in and you're like, you know what? No, that don't mean nothing. We're on top. You suck. Oh, Anthony. You know, I like some drama, but that's just a little far. That's just a little far.
Tony, I want to hear your thoughts.
You know, I'm with Ty. His career with the Lynx is one thing, but being an owner is completely different. And I have to say, I don't agree with all of the decisions he has made as an owner. So it just, it's not a good start for him in this league, because you can't come in, talking trash is one thing. The Fog do it all the time. Okay?
Yeah.
But the Fog also delivered at one point. So it'll be a little bit different if the Waves can come in and win this tournament. I don't see that happening. But
games.
They might win some games, but they're not going to make a deep run in the playoffs. So I think it's a little early news. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you guys said. The only thing I can think of is that I do not believe that Anthony actually believes that if they played the Express, they would beat them, or that they have a better chance to win than the Express do. The only thing I can think of is he's just trying to get some publicity for the Waves, because I mean the moves that he made really didn't get him any notice. Didn't get him noticed very much at all.
Yeah.
So that's really. I mean,
who knows? Maybe he's out there practicing every day. I could totally see that.
Yeah, it's possible, but
pitching. But
I don't know.
From what we've seen,
it's early.
It's too early.
It's too early. All right, now we're gonna move into our last topic here, which we're gonna talk about Jacob Braun a little bit. And we've done this a little bit already, but there was reports that Jacob is in contract talks with the Bison as well as the Fog at the same time, but he's actually what's the word? He's actually considering the Bison. So, Ty, what's
okay? Here, let's do this first. First of all, James French. I have gotten on you so hard for doing nothing, and then you cut yourself. You cut Michael Screen, which honestly I think is a good choice. I mean, he's making some good moves. Yeah, signed McKinley. He's a brother of two good players in the league. Going after Jacob Braun. I mean, Jacob's okay, but at least he's doing something. So James, good job.
He knows whatever he's got is not working.
Now, with that being said, I don't think Jacob's going to go to the Bison. I mean, he has 49.
No chance.
It's
give
very
us a percent.
I believe the offer they made. Hey, hold on here. I believe the offer they made him was $10 for one tournament. That's a lot for Jacob.
That's a lot.
Okay, James. That's on that front. That's maybe not the best way to go. But I just don't see it. I see Jacob Braun exploring free agency. He owns 49% of the Fog. I mean, they've had great history with him and Darren.
Let's play the percentage game here.
Okay.
Above or below 40% chance that Jake goes to the Bison?
Oh, way below.
Way below.
Yeah, I give Jake like a 5% chance he goes to the Bison.
Oh,
Wow.
I would give it more than that. Just because Darren has showed zero interest. I know they're buds, but I think Jacob might do something drastic. It's Jacob.
That's a good point.
I would say 20%.
Okay.
I would give it a high. I wouldn't go 40, but I would give it around 20, 25 as well, because Jake has tried to do, as the minority owner of the Fog, he's tried to make some moves, and Darren has kind of just shot them all down. He's kind of just doing whatever he wants, and I feel like there's maybe a little bit of friction there.
Yeah.
They might be thinking, you know, Lucas may not be coming back after this tournament. He might be wanting to move on. So I give him around a 20, 25% chance, but I still think he'll be back on the Fog. Okay. That is all we have for this episode of The Pitch. Thanks for joining us. And next time you watch the show, it'll just be Kale or just Tierney or just Kale and Tierney or whatever, because we're going to Europe. Okay. See you later.